Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, police officer accused of raping a woman at the station in San Ignacio. Christian Workers Union issues a statement on the issue of stevedores now being classified as essential service. And the Cayo Animal Welfare Society works to help strays in San Ignacio Town. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages. Here now is the news in details. A policeman is in detention by his colleagues in San Ignacio Town following allegations that he raped a woman who was detained at the police station. According to the official police report, a 25-year-old woman from Bully Tree Falls Village in the Cayo district told authorities that around 5:30 a.m. on Sunday, she was detained at the San Ignacio police station when the rape happened. The woman says that the police officer took her out of the holding cell and into a dark room where he raped her. The police officer, identified by the woman as her attacker, has been detained pending investigation. 2 cases of burglary are under investigation by police in the Belize and the Cayo districts. The most recent incident was reported in Belize City, where businessman Jignesh Pinter, 42 years old, told authorities that his warehouse located at mile 4.5 on the Philip Golson Highway was burglarized. The thieves stole 150 cases of beers with a total value of $8,350. The second case of burglary was reported in St. Matthew's Village. Police say that a 42-year-old resident of the village in the Cayo district reported last Thursday that she arrived home around 10 p.m. and noticed that some purses, electronic items, and cash were missing from her bedroom. All total, the value of the stolen items is put at $6,060. In the case of the burglary in St. Matthew's Village, police say they are looking for one woman for questioning. Both incidents are the subjects of an ongoing police investigation. The Christian Workers Union today sent out a press release expressing frustration with government's decision to sign a statutory instrument late last week designating stevedores as essential service. The 2-page CWU release denounces what the organization calls, quote, the heartless and high-handed manner in which stevedores have been undermined by the government when it clandestinely and shamelessly signed the SI that made loading or unloading a ship's cargo to now be classified as part of the definition of essential services, end of quote. The CWU release also says, and again we quote, it is regrettable that not once has the government nor its agents sought to consult the stevedores through their union about the issues that have clearly prompted them to make such a drastic move after hearing only one side, end of quote. The CWU further notes that the Chamber of Commerce and Industry wasted no time in boasting in its press release that the Chamber has made a representation through the Labor Advisory Board to include port services as an essential service. The irony, says the release, is that the president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry is also the chief executive officer of the Port of Belize Limited, Arturo Vasquez. As the title of the press release suggests, CWU believes that the government of Belize has sided with what has been described as the big people against the stevedores. President of the CWU, Audrey Matura Shepherd, laments that, and we quote, the plight of the stevedores appeared not to have been a factor in GOB's high-handed decision, end of quote, and points out that as casual workers, the stevedores are now at the mercy of the Port of Belize Limited. According to the CWU press release, the stevedores are now of the opinion that it is them against everybody, including the Minister of Labor, the Government of Belize, and the Chamber of Commerce. With the classification of stevedoring as essential service, it means that the stevedores just cannot proceed on strike as happened earlier this week. The CWU release ends by saying that what the statutory instrument signed by Minister Ugo Pat does is undermine the stevedores' position and makes it more challenging to conduct a collective bargaining agreement that will meaningfully make life better, not just for the stevedores and their families, but for Port of Belize Limited and Belize on a whole. A road traffic accident on Saturday night claimed the life of Ladyville resident 37-year-old Robert Stevens Simplice. Police reports say that Simplice was knocked down sometime after 10 o'clock on Saturday night between miles 8 and 9 on the Philip Golson Highway. When police arrived at the scene, they found Simplice motionless in the middle of the road. The driver of the vehicle that hit Simplice tells police that he was heading towards Belize City when he saw the deceased walking in the middle of the highway and could not avoid hitting him. The 28-year-old driver of the vehicle has been detained by police pending investigations. In the north, a hit-and-run incident was reported in Orange Walk early on Saturday morning. Police say they found 45-year-old Marco Cuellar of Orange Walk Town suffering from injuries to the right side of his face, chest, stomach, and knees when they visited the emergency room at the Northern Regional Hospital. Police say that their preliminary investigation shows that Cuellar was standing on the side of the street when he was hit by an SUV. The driver of the vehicle did not stop to render aid, and Cuellar was taken for treatment at the Northern Regional Hospital. Police investigations continue. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. Stay tuned for more of the day's stories right after these messages.
The Belize Tire Depot, your one-stop destination. What you will find is a first-class selection of solid, dependable, quality products from the names you can trust. We carry a full line of urea and SureTech tools and equipment to meet every need, from light maintenance around the house to heavy-duty fieldwork. Our tire workshop features the full array of Pirelli, Nexen, and Nankang tires for every vehicle and any terrain. Our trained technicians' #1 priority is to ensure you and your family's safety and security on the road. It's all here at the Belize Tire Depot. From reliable equipment, world-class time-tested tires, to sturdy, durable tools. Merchandise that's built to last with quality guaranteed.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. A 58-year-old man has been arrested on a charge of unlawful sexual assault. This follows a report by a 9-year-old girl that the man sexually assaulted her on October 28th. The minor, in the presence of her mother, told police that a man she identified only as Don Chindo came into the bedroom where she was laying down with her sisters who were sleeping and assaulted her. Police have arrested and charged the Toledo resident Gomericindo Garcia for the crime of unlawful sexual assault. A man was caught transporting marijuana on Sunday morning in San Pedro town. Authorities detained 18-year-old Saul Rodas carrying a white box which contained 485 grams of marijuana. Rodas, a resident of the San Mateo area, has been arrested and charged for the crime of drug trafficking. 3 people from the Ladyville area have been arrested on drug trafficking charges. This follows a bust made at a police checkpoint at a toll bridge in Orange Walk. Authorities say that 10 minutes before midnight on Friday, a vehicle approached the checkpoint. And when police searched the vehicle, they found 3 large parcels of marijuana amounting to 2,669.7 grams, or just under 6 pounds. The occupants of the vehicle, 31-year-old Aldrich Smith and 27-year-old Norelli Cruz of Ladyville, and 32-year-old Ming Pei Chu of Lord's Bank, were arrested and charged for the offense of drug trafficking. A woman from Santa Elena town was shot in the arm while asleep in bed early on Saturday morning. 46-year-old Jacinta Ayala, a resident of the Trapeze area, was awakened by a loud noise she described as sounding like firecrackers. A few seconds later, she felt a burning sensation on her arm, saw the blood, and realized that she was injured. Ayala managed to make her way to the San Ignacio Community Hospital for medical treatment. Police investigations continue. The Cayo Animal Welfare Society continues to work in the San Ignacio Santa Elena area to take care of stray animals.
The Cayo Animal Welfare Society, what we do is a stray care program. So for all the dogs that are on the street that don't have owners, we come out and we give them flea and tick medicine, maybe vitamins and some wormers, and then we put an ID collar on them. And the ID collar actually has a QR code, so it can be read either by a scanned mobile phone, or you can input it into a website and with a number, and it comes up and it says this is a stray dog. If you'd like to donate to his care, if you're a tourist, that's awesome. If you'd like to adopt this dog, if you're a local, he's available for adoption. And then by identifying the dogs, as veterinarians come down and do spay and neuter clinics or low-cost spay and neuter clinics, we take these street dogs, we'll capture them, we'll get them spayed or neutered so they can have no more puppies. And then unfortunately many we'll have to put back on the street, but some we can get
Volunteers of the Cayo Animal Welfare Society says caring for the strays is not all that challenging.
Tell me some of the techniques that you use to give them pills and medicine.
Basically kindness. Most of these street dogs are just so used to being chased away that we go after them with a hot dog and they come up to us, or we'll give them some dog food. And once we have them, we can just restrain them with basic leashes, basic collars. And if you hold a dog properly, it's easy enough to just give them a little shot of vitamins or to put a pill down their throat. And like I said, most of the stray dogs are super lovable. They're just used to.
Part of the efforts by the Cayo Animal Welfare Society includes trying to get them into homes where they are well cared for.
A lot of the dogs that you see on the street will look really bad. They'll have a bad case of mange where all their hair is falling off and they look just really, really sad and pathetic. And some of our volunteers, a couple here that are behind me, they will take them home. They'll foster care for them. They'll give them medicines. We'll work with the local vet like Dr. Tescom. And we will treat them and hopefully get them fostered out to a new home once they start to recover. And if you look at our Facebook page, Cayo Animal Welfare Society, we have lots of pictures of dogs that we have taken off the street, given medicines to, brought them back to health, got them adopted. We've even sent 2 dogs that people have adopted. One's in Alaska and one's in Minnesota. What we do for the street dogs is provided by the local veterinarians. They give us the just basic medicines. When we do a spay and neuter clinic, we work with the local veterinarians or visiting veterinarians. And then what we also do is we take donations because we work with the local vets. Once we raise enough money, we'll either host our own spay and neuter clinic, or we will take a street dog one at a time over to a local vet, get it fixed, care for it till it's ready to be released.
In order to minimize the problem of stray animals, the Cayo Animal Welfare Society also offers some advice to pet and animal owners.
Absolutely. The biggest advice for all the public in Belize is spay and neuter your pets. We cannot say enough that, and especially male dogs, everybody thinks it's okay to just fix the females. There's a bad case of, it's called TVT, and it's a venereal disease cancer that's spread. It's very prevalent here in San Ignacio, and if you have a dog running the streets hooking up with another male, or with a male or a female, your dog can get a cancer that's super expensive to treat. It's treatable, or it will kill them.
It's a good idea for some people that have dogs. They yard fencing and still have their dog chained.
Yeah, chaining a dog is never, I mean, you can't say never chain it because I don't know everybody's circumstance, but ideally the best thing for a dog is a fenced-in yard, a place where it can get out of the rain and out of the mud, so it can't be attacked by fleas and ticks on a regular basis. If you're going to be a pet owner, you've got to take responsibility to make sure you give it flea and tick medicine, proper nutrition. Corn tortillas and flour tortillas are not a dog's diet. They need dog food. They need the protein that's in the dog food in order to be healthy. But an ideal situation is a fenced yard and a covered porch, a covered dog shed, or something like that. And just love. All these dogs just need, they're companions. Once you let a dog into your heart, you'll never let.
The Cayo Animal Welfare Society is a non-government organization working in this district. The news on the national channel. The final segment of the news tonight is a look at the weather. It shows that mainly fair conditions are expected heading into the Christmas holidays. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for partly cloudy skies tonight. Tomorrow will be sunny with a few cloudy spells. Showers will be isolated and are more likely along southern coastal areas of the country. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be easterly at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state will be choppy. Low temperatures tonight will be around 75 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 68 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Tuesday will be around 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 77 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. There will be a low tide at 24 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning. A high tide follows at 13 minutes past 8 o'clock, also in the morning. The sun will rise on Tuesday morning at 19 minutes past 6 o'clock. It will set at 24 minutes past 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Wednesday afternoon, is for continuing fair weather with only isolated showers expected. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Michael Gentle at the Belize Weather Bureau. To end the news, we take a look at the headlines again. Christian Workers Union issues a statement on the issue of stevedores now being classified as essential service. The Cayo Animal Welfare Society works to help strays in San Ignacio town. And a police officer in San Ignacio has been detained on an allegation of rape. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.